Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's flow for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
And I think my thing is going to die. I'm here for now. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in thy world. And you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is May 26, 2025. It is currently 10:37 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Boy, woo! Joe, hope you feel better, honey. Marla, I'm sorry you've been down with the COVID. Sorry you've been down with that. We got a lot to talk about in this live. I need you guys to hit that thumbs up button. We're talking about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, who has been missing 15 months. God, please don't die. My camera. I was supposed to get my batteries today. They're delayed until tomorrow. So, 1 second. So let's hope we get them. How you doing? Oh, that's good, Jazzy. I love watching you your live shows. I'm door dashing because you make me feel less lonely. How you doing, girl? We are here right with you. We are in the car. We are driving, and you are going to get good tips tonight. Is what you're going to get. You're going to get good tips tonight, Jazzy. I claim it. All right. So anyway, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Really do appreciate you. Consider becoming a member of the Pearl family. You know you want to. You know you want to. I am portable, Joe. That's right. That's exactly right. I want to go over Seth recently did an interview with a local news station, and they didn't air all of it, but we've got it all today. Oh my God, SL, how you doing, girl? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for gifting 5 pearl necklaces. Guys, if you was just gifted one of those pearl necklaces, give your girl SL a big, big thank you. That is amazing. 1 second, I'm sorry. That's amazing, girlfriend. Really do. There it went. There it went. You damn camera. I'm sorry, guys. All right. We'll have it better tomorrow. I'm so sorry. But we want to cover this because it's important. And I got some things I want to say. Here is Seth Rogers. He had someone recording him whenever this was going on. Don't cry, Justin. It's frustrating. It's frustrating when your batteries are dead. I gave it CPR to get it to work last night and today, both. I mean, have you ever seen that show or that movie, Something About Mary, where the that lady, the blonde-haired lady with the the really dark tan, her dog dies, and they're like trying to shock the dog back to life, and Jim Carrey gets the the lamp cord and tries to like shock the dog back to life. That's how I was with my camera. The last couple days, I'm like, you're gonna work, mother chicken, you're gonna work. Oh, it was Ben Stiller. That's who it was. Yes, Ben Stiller. Yes, Ben Stiller. It wasn't Jim Carrey. It was Ben Stiller. He used to be so hot back in the day. Now he's not, but he was back in the day. It was Ben Stiller. I'm sorry. Sing a duet. No, no duets for me, darling. Oddly, one of my favorite movies. The old movies are the best. The old movies are the best. Um, But kind of on a more serious note here, I think we should pause and reflect on for a moment uh, those who've sacrificed for Memorial Day. I just want to take a moment to pause because today matters for so many reasons. And we'll say a prayer and then we'll do a moment of silence. And if you don't pray or don't believe, um, just good vibes or a heart of gratitude. That's good as well. So we're going to say a prayer and then we'll do a moment of silence and then we'll get on with our show. So let's say a little prayer. Okay. Dear God, today we remember the brave men and women who gave their lives for our freedom. We honor their sacrifice and we thank you for the courage that you showed so that we could live the way that we do. We also lift up the families they left behind, the parents, the children, siblings who live with the loss every day. Wrap them in peace and comfort, Lord. Let them know they're not alone and that their loved ones' sacrifice has never been forgotten. But Lord, we today are also coming to you for something else. We ask you to bring Lily, Jack, Sebastian, Summer Wells, Michael Vaughn, and every single missing child home. We don't know where they are. We don't know what happened, but you do. We're asking you to move mountains, open hearts, Lord, and push someone to speak up. Light the path that leads them home. Bring someone in the path of them if needed. And if they can't come back to us in this life, Lord, we just pray for answers. Give us truth. Give these families peace. And for all of us watching, listening, hoping, help us not grow numb. Help us keep fighting. Help us use our voice, our platforms, and our prayers to protect children and stand for what's right. Thank you for giving us a chance to come together, to honor the fallen, to fight for the missing, and to remind each other no matter how dark it gets, we're not alone and not powerless. In your name, amen. Okay, y'all. Thank you all so much for that. I do appreciate you being here. Um, let's get on with watching Seth and hearing what he has to say. Seth is very upset. He's frustrated naturally, as any parent would or should be, 15 months along and still not really knowing any more than the day your son was declared missing. So that is what any parent should feel like. Thank you, Truth and Crime. All right, here we go.
Rogers, Rogers. I'm Sebastian William Drake Rogers' father. Well, talk to a little bit. How long has it been since Sebastian was missing? 15 years. What has that been like? You know,
Now, you might have to turn it up a little bit. They're not
so,
mic'd up.
for people joining, now the story, what has happened so far in terms of police investigation? Off the bat, we had helicopters, there was, TBI was out there on horseback riding. National Guard, there was ATVs, there was drones, everything for the first 8 days. And then for the rest of it, there's been
I increased it as much
there's
as I
been
can.
somewhat communication with this department here, um, but I've also had conversations with them. Sheriff Craddock says he doesn't really care what his constituents think. Uh, doesn't care what the public thinks.
So he says Sheriff Craddock doesn't seem to says he doesn't care what his constituents think.
That's a problem.
Why didn't you put that in the news? Why didn't you put that in the news? Mainstream media.
When you're an elected official. My son's the one who gets it.
I've got it with the volume boosted too.
I don't live in this county, and yet he's up there in his office over there, just chilling, enjoying his paycheck, while I'm sitting here trying to find my son. This weekend is International and National Missing Children's, and my son's still missing. And it seems that the lack of communication, the lack of doing their job, is leading to me believing that the case is going to go cold. I'm still getting tips in. There's still people saying that they're calling and putting in tips. But when I follow up on a tip, in the police departments in those locations haven't ever heard of Sumner County or have never heard that my son, that tells me they're not doing their job. They're letting my son's case go cold. Not me. I will be out here a year from now, 2 years from now, hopefully not that long. Hopefully my son is found. It'd be nice if his other parents were actually doing the same thing. But it all falls on my shoulders to ask people.
Yeah, it would be nice if Edgar and KK were out there, but KK, what is she doing? Lawyered up, perhaps? Lawyered up because Sebastian walked out the door? What? No way. Are you serious, KK? Freaking lawyered up because your son walked out the door? Yeah. Yeah, it would. Tequila KK, don't care.
People to help find my son. My son means something to me. These people should be doing their job. If a child goes missing, you should be putting in the effort as if it was your child that went missing.
Yep. Yep. She fought for her country, but she's not fighting for Sebastian, is she? Right? What I mean, I'm telling you guys, if Justin, can we watch the video of Seth punking CP for like 5 minutes straight? It was during an interview with Josh Classic. Where was that, broke? Yeah, criminal lawyer. Thank you for your super chat, baby. Someone, I don't really know. Was it on the lab or the lab after dark? They're staying home, drinking, and dialing into YouTube lives, according to some commentators. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'd like to see them actually do a press conference where they actually have my son's picture in the back. Because the last time they did a press conference, Sumner County and TBI, they didn't even have a picture of the missing child.
That's true. That's true. They've never had a picture of Sebastian on any press conference, which is a little bizarre.
Most press conferences, when it's about a missing child, at least they have the dignity to have a picture of the missing child in the background, so the people watching the news can know that this is the person they're looking for, and they don't even show that.
Would you like to see them kind of conducting more searches?
I would love to see them actually conducting more searches.
Guys, but hopefully sometimes this week I will have some more information, hopefully new information about Sebastian that we may know, and waiting for that. So hopefully it will come to
I'd like to
fruition.
have some communication on the tips that have come in just with me, so that I know that when a tip comes in, I'm not following up on what the job they're supposed to do. But at this point in time, with their lack of, I don't know what you would consider this unprofessionalism. I don't even know if a tip comes in, if I shouldn't track it down, because I don't know
Yes,
if they
we
can do their job
show
properly.
Boodles.
Because so far they haven't. My son's been missing for 15 months, and they don't care. Their lack of communication with the public, their lack of
We'll get
communication
to
with
that, Brandy.
me, is all telling me that they don't care that my son is missing.
In a statement, they reached out to Craddock for a statement on that and said, we are working on things behind the scenes that you don't know about. Is that frustrating? You're kind of
To,
talking about it a little bit.
to me, I'm working on it behind the scenes. If you don't know what's going on, is a huge shield on I'm not doing anything because my pockets is in Latin. This gentleman that got
What did he
elected
say?
here
Hold on. What did
is
he
a
say?
shield on I'm not doing anything because my pockets is in Latin. This gentleman that got elected here, if this is what Sumner County wants to represent their law enforcement, then I am sorry for any child that goes missing in this county. They just had a missing child go missing out of Hendersonville PD. Don't know what the circumstances are, but Henderson found a child. Found a child yesterday. Like,
Yes, that is true. Hendersonville did find the autistic child just the other day. He was 17 years old. He had been missing for about 4 days. Again, I don't really know the circumstances about it, but they did find him. Pockets flattened, I think it was, with their and they found him. They found him.
less than 24 hours, from my understanding, the child was missing and the child was recovered. I'm here 15 months, and they'd rather not answer their phone or even be at work. I'm tired of having to text Brandon Carter trying to get information because he's too much of a yellow barrel coward to pick up the phone like a real person and
Wow.
communicate with the father of a missing child.
Well, he didn't mince words there, did he? He did not mince words there. Sure has not minced words. I think he is wearing shorts, as it probably already hotter in balls in Tennessee. Oh yeah, everyone's wearing shorts. Yeah.
How do you think, I guess, 'cause I know you've been speaking with other families too that have gone through similar situations or just with active cases like right now. But I guess, what do you kind of think kind of to help what advice would you receive to help?
I continue to pass out flyers. I continue to make sure that there's available information. People ask me, I answer what I can because I know that some information or anything given me, I can't tell you. And I understand that. We're trying to make sure the case stays. But I'm trying to find my son. They're trying to solve the case. You can't solve a case if you don't find my son. And I've sent out an email to both the senators, of the state of Tennessee. I've sent out an email to every representative of the state of Tennessee, and none of them want to respond. The only person that has responded was a representative from Marshall Blackburn, one of her case representatives, actually called me back, and I had to tell them what was going on. They didn't even know my son was missing. There's still people in the state of Tennessee that don't know how many children go missing every day. And people are just like, it's fine. They don't care. Well, you got to start caring somewhere. Because if they don't care, they're not going to do their job. And as constituents, people, we run this country, people. We are the ones that are supposed to care. If you don't care about your children, then why are you having them? And if you care about your
Alicia, thank you so much, my dear. How did the Morky scratch CP up when he supposedly wasn't in town for like 3 weeks prior to Sebastian missing? They weren't old, but they weren't new either. Make it make sense crystal clear, Edgar. Yeah, he said that after he got home those few days that um that he was in the floor playing with the dogs, and because that's exactly what parents of a missing child does. They get in the floor and they romp with the dogs and let them gnaw their arm off practically. So yeah, good question, really good question. I don't believe that for a minute. Yeah, playing with dogs, not searching for Sebastian. Thank you so much, Alicia. I really do appreciate your support, my dear. Instead of looking for Sebastian. Exactly. Exactly.
children, please make sure you hunt them tight at night and watch them during the day. Because they can find Osama bin Laden, but they can't find my son who's been missing for 15 months.
I mean,
How many other
first of all, does Edgar really think does anyone really think that Edgar is going to let the dogs just gnaw on his arms, both of his arms, like that, and just continually gnaw on them like there's cuts and everything else? No way.
parents are out there that their children are missing?
Not that type of
They
guy.
don't even bother to do interviews because they don't care. Well, I care about my son. His name is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And if you can't say his name, you've got problems. A parent demands answers. We demand answers because our part is missing. I'm in the process of writing a law, and I'm going to need support to push this law into Congress. And it's a federal oversight law on places like CPS, DCS, the Amber Alert getting it redone, taking it out of people's hands that don't care about the children, and getting actual agencies that do to take over the case. Because they won't relinquish it because they're too proud to understand this.
Edgar's not even obviously that much of an animal person other than snakes, but that's because they both crawl on their belly.
Sometimes you have to ask for help. I ask for help every day. I ask people to pass out flyers. I ask people to remember my son's name. Keep his picture up. Keep your eyes open to see if you see him. And if you do see him, please call 911. And if you have my son, please understand that he is my world. I need him. I need him back with me. His son, if you can see this, if you can hear this, understand that I will not let you go back to that environment you came from. Over.
This is sad This is really, really sad, y'all. This man has, I don't care how you feel about him. He is the only parent that has absolutely nonstop from beginning, middle, until we are now, that has been out there in front of the television, in front of the cameras, in front of it all, searching. You can hear it in his voice. He wants his son home. He wants answers for his son. Someone did something. Someone did something. And Edgar and KK should be just as worried. At least KK should be just as worried if someone did something to their son. Listen, the detective told me via email, this is a criminal investigation. I will say that with 100% no allegedly. Why? Because it's 100% truth. 100% truth. There is no allegedly. This is a criminal investigation. But this is it, Mr. Carter. We're at 15 months. You should be able to, if you can't clear somebody in 15 months, then it's time to give it up and give it to someone else. Right? You know Seth had nothing to do with this. You know that. They know that. Everyone knows that. But I don't think you're going to do it, because then you're going to have the next question is going to be, well, what about KK and Edgarstein? And I bet, in my humble opinion, that you can't clear them. Right?
For my dead body, should a child ever have to endure what happened in that house that he was in? And I am so sorry that I did not know what was going on. But I will do my best to bring you home and keep you safe from me.
Talk a little bit about it, and I know you spoke before a lot about this, but the daily battle you had at home, getting out of bed, facing every day, days that you what is that like?
It's the same thing every day. You know, getting out of bed, the only reason I get out of bed is to try to find my son. That's it. It's the only thing that gets me out of bed at times. Just hoping that I got the right tip. I've been to Bristol for 10 years. Check up on the last tip. And people.
Seth, excuse me. Seth jumped in his car, went straight to Bristol the other day. No, just jumped in his car and went. I was going to try to meet him because I'm just an hour and a half from Bristol or so. So, but I didn't get to meet him. I wished I could have met him there. But he goes anywhere and tracks the tip down to the best of his ability. Anytime there could be a potential sighting of Sebastian, or a tip that might be something. And this is what you see is frustration. It's frustration. He's frustrated that there is not any more answers than the day we started, right? And law enforcement is going to have to come off of it or something. Like, I get it that a lot of times I believe the law enforcement is unfairly criticized because it's easy for us to say, do this or do that. I understand. I get that. I get that. But this has a lot of public interest. And this is a human being. This is a child. This is a vulnerable, all children are vulnerable, but this is an extra vulnerable child. And there were things going on. There were things going on, and you need to clear up some of it. Or, you know, you need to give it over. Now, I understand a lot of times, you know, law enforcement are a bit prideful or whatever. They say, something to the effect of, well, the evidence is the evidence, and if we don't have any, or this is what I have, and I give it to FBI or TBI or whoever, they're going to look at the same thing. But maybe they look at it a different way, right? Maybe they can do something. If it's not moving for you, if this case is not moving for you any further and you've gotten it so far and you just can't seem to get past that, then maybe give it over. Right? Or give the public some answers, right? I understand that they're not going to come out and say, oh, we suspect this person of doing something because we have X, Y, and Z. They're not going to do that. That's not the way law enforcement works. They're not going to come out and just say, we have X, Y, and Z. And therefore, we're looking at this person because that person is going to have public suspicion on them because it's the law. It's not their opinion. It's the law. So when they say something, it is what it is. And let's say if they said, such and such person, we've got X, Y, and Z that this happened this night, but we can't prove, the other couple things that we need to prove. And they never get those answers. Well, an individual or individuals can go back and later sue Sumner County because it's not their opinion. They're stating this to the public. So I get it. I get it. But also, like, maybe the DA is lame. I don't think it's the DA in this. I think it could be. Could be. Right? But I'm not sure that, I mean, there could be some internal conflict, going on. I saw someone say that earlier in chat. Uh, I don't know. I always talk about this case of there was this cold case and they were looking at the phone data, and FBI law enforcement and all kinds of law enforcement was looking at it. And they kept telling each other the same thing, looking at it the same way. And then they just ended up giving it to another cold case detective because they had their hand, threw their hands up in the air. They gave it to him after like 10 years, and they were looking at the data wrong. they were looking at it like backwards or something. I don't know how the hell they were looking at it, but they were looking at it the complete wrong way. All of them, the FBI. And I think a lot of times whenever you get like the FBI in the room and you get the regular law enforcement and TBI, they all kind of scratch off each other's backs like, okay, I see what you're saying. Let me look at it that way too. But you need somebody to look at it a different way sometimes, not with your influence in the room. You need someone to just look at it away from any other influence. Let me just look at this case and see what I see, not what you've told me to see.
Said that they called it in. They called it into Sumner County. Well, when I went up there and spoke to the police department, they had never heard from Sumner County, and they didn't know that my son was missing. So I gave them flyers. I gave them contact information for the FBI, for TBI. I've got text messages between me and Brandon Carter. That's all I have for the last 15, months. And those text messages, he states that he's the only detective on the case. And I've been stating from day one that we need more than just one set of eyes on this case. Same guy looking at the same information. The last time I had a face-to-face meeting with him, and we went over videos, I pointed out things. He was like, well, I didn't notice that before. That's why you have to have more than one set of eyes on the information. It just goes to show that their motivation isn't doing their job or their civic duties. That oath to the Constitution, when you take it, it's got to mean something to you. And I'm not saying that it means anything to me. If you carry a shield,
You can, yeah,
you
he's
don't
lost
want
some
to do
weight.
your job.
Linda, thank you so much for your support, my dear. Really do appreciate that. Sorry. I had the volume booster on. Damn, that just broke my ear. Thank you so much. If I can hear now, the volume booster on. Like,
You're the problem with it. You're the problem with the professionalism. You become law enforcement to serve the people. And my son's not being served by this. Neither am I.
yep. Babs, you're exactly right. Seth needs to get a local bulldog attorney. It's time to make shit happen. And I think he needs maybe a local advocate, victims advocate as well. That's my opinion, in my opinion only, but I believe he needs to get an attorney and he needs to get a bulldog. But attorneys are very, very, very expensive.
To all the parents that are missing children out there, I'm praying with you every day that your child comes home, that your child is found. And I am praying every day that Sebastian Wayne Great Rogers is found and brought home. Everybody be blessed and stay safe. Hug your kids.
And that's what a dad does. This is what a dad does. He doesn't stop for anyone, no matter what is set in his way. He still rises to the occasion and does what he can to find his son. Seth needs so much more help than Tony can do. He's not local there. Yeah, I mean Tony, it's 15 months on, and you know Tony has been so instrumental in just being, helping Seth out in any way he can. It's became more of a brotherhood between the two. But also Tony has a life and he lives so far away that he can only do, what he can do at this point as well. An attorney not in Sumner County, one from a different county. Yes. Yeah. I agree. I agree. You're exactly right. I would definitely get one in a different county, not Sumner County, because I think they all know each other a lot of times. And they have to look a certain way in the county. So you need to get a little bit of an outsider. I absolutely agree on that. That's so true. Um, did Tony bring in Nina? Uh, I don't know about Nina. I know he knew the foot. Said that 5 minutes ago. DAs are elected here in Colorado. Clarksville, where Seth lives, is Davidson County. Maybe a Clarksville attorney. You could be right. Where the hell? Where's KK? Where's all this? Someone just sent this to me. I don't know what it is, so we're gonna listen to it together. That's probably not a good thing to do, and I don't know what I'm playing, but here we are.
Good morning, TikTok fam. So, before I show you this photo and talk to you about what I'm going to talk to you about, this is very, very important. In the area you live, if you know who the detective in your local police department is, I want you to go to Google, put in detective
Sabrina, he is, but it's a different case.
so and so, so and so. So that's detective first and last name. And then your town
Sabina,
where you
sorry.
live and state, and hit search. And I want you to take note of how many cases come up that your local detective has solved. Now, 9 times out of 10, it's going to show you all these different cases first, or news reports. And then somewhere in the news story, your local detective's name may be in it. Okay?
Yes.
I just want to see how many of you.
Yes. Harmony Montgomery's mother got awarded $2.2 million because of CPS messing up. That was the most awful case. Harmony Montgomery, Harmony Montgomery was with the greatest couple that could have taken care of her. They took her out of the house and gave her back to dad, or Adam, and it was just horrible.
You have detectives who have actually solved some cases, and they come up on Google.
Seth did not even know there was a CPS case until Edgar got on Smiley's and said that there was CPS cases. Imagine not knowing. Imagine not knowing.
Now, My stepfather, I've told you guys before, he was a detective for his township for over 30 years. Okay.
And Nina,
When
Tina,
I put
and
his
Nina.
name in the search box,
In my opinion, Tina, this is a pattern. This is a pattern because Nina did not know that that happened to Sebastian when they were in California, because Edgar is supposed to notify the courts if something like that happens to a child in their home, or if anything takes place that could jeopardize the safety of their kid.
tons of cases
Visiting.
come up, tons of them. Tons that have made it to court, tons that have got a conviction. He solved it, right? I also know of a few other detectives that I put their names in just to see what happens as well. And lo and behold, some of their cases came up. All right. Now go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to pause this and come right back. Now, to those of you that have done that, here's what I'm about to show you. This is Detective Brandon Carter of Sumner County Sheriff's Office.
What?
We finally put a face to the name. I did a little digging. This was a photo of him in 2017, mind you. He was still a sheriff's deputy.
He looks wet behind the ears there.
Okay, in 2017. Here's another photo of Detective Brandon Carter.
Cops generally age quicker, I'm telling you. It's hard to date a cop. Don't ever date a cop. Don't ever date anyone in law enforcement. Speaking from experience, don't ever do it. Okay.
Okay. Still as a sheriff's deputy. This is no
What is this? Shop with the cop day?
longer sheriff deputy Carter. This in 2020 is Detective Brandon Carter. Okay?
Yes, Ash.
The only time frame that I can find to where this man became a detective for Sumner County is 2020. That is the earliest year that I can find
I don't know
of him being named a detective. Now, when I go and Google search him as Detective Brandon Carter, the only things that come up are two things that occurred when he was a sheriff deputy. One was him assisting a man who was reported missing, but later he found him and pulled him over thinking he was DUI, and he wasn't. He was able to recognize that this man was having a mental health issue.
Listen, I think they have I think they know who or whom's did this in Sebastian's case. I absolutely do. I just don't think they have what they need. And whatever they need, they think they can't get it. And so this is how law enforcement works. When you go into law enforcement, you have to do they usually start you off on some patrol, being a deputy. You have to be out on the street, so to speak. And then after a period of time, you can go into different parts of policing, whether you want to be a detective or whatever. and you kind of graduate to that. But they all start out on the streets,
or
pounding
neurological issue,
pavement.
which is great. I commend him for that. Okay, this isn't to dog him. All right. Another case. There was another case, but again, he was a sheriff deputy at the time. No cases have come up that he has solved as a detective for Sumner County. None. Zero cases have come up that he has solved in a Google search. Now, I'm not saying that the Google search is the end all be all. Maybe there's some that maybe it made it to court but didn't get a conviction. Maybe he didn't solve any. I don't know. But that's a little sus, and he's a little wet behind the ears, if you ask me. This man has only been a detective for approximately 5 years. There are no big name cases under his belt for the county he works in. Okay? Every town, every county has that, one big case, right? Every town, every county has cases that have made it to the news. And normally the detective's name is mentioned. Detective Brandon Carter has 0 from what I can find. Not good. Not a good look. I would not personally, if I was the parent of a missing child and this was a high profile case, which Sebastian Rogers' case is, I would not want this man as the lead detective on my son's case. Maybe a backup detective, maybe an assistant. But I would not want this man as a lead detective on my case, on my son's case. I just wouldn't. Going based off of experience, I would want to see how many cases has he solved. I mean, I would have a lot of questions as a parent, in that type of situation. He's young. He's a rookie detective at best. He may have been a great sheriff deputy for quite a few years before he became a detective. I think it was about 8 years he was a sheriff deputy before being a detective. He's only been a detective for 5. And I don't see any commendable cases under his belt.
Okay. Interesting. I'm just looking here. I was just trying to research here. Detective Brandon Carter serves with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office in Hendersonville, Tennessee. He has been involved in various investigations, including burglary cases and missing persons. For instance, he was the contact information regarding burglaries of a home under construction in Sumner County. Watch this. When was this? This was February 4th, 2021. 2 suspects sought in Sumner County burglaries of home under construction. The 2 pictured were caught on camera in one of the homes in White House, Tennessee. They are unknown to the owner and builder and did not have permission to be there. And I guess Brandon, okay, yes, contact Brandon Carter. That was 2021. And, and it's, listen, I don't want to, I'm not here to be vicious to Mr. Carter or anything, because, he's young and, he just may not have the experience. The last time are you kidding me? The last time they posted on their Instagram was when Sheriff Sonny Weatherford died. That's the last time they posted on that? Are you kidding me? Okay. Let's see here. End of watch, April 29, 2024. Huh. Who do we got here? This is not good. I mean, they're really nice there. I mean, they really are, the Sumner County, but nice doesn't cut it either. Like, if here's Mr. Craddock, 74 weeks ago. Let's see, who is this? Deputy Van Gilder, earning Middle Tennessee THSO Deputy of the Year. Made 81 DUI arrests. That's a lot of DUI arrests. While Deputy Stanfield, recognized as Middle Tennessee THSO DUI Deputy of the Year, made 76 DUI arrests. Huh. Fantastic retirement. This guy's really nice. He was I love this guy. He was there at the vigil for Sebastian. He was one of them there. Really good guy. Really good guy. But we need we need more than nice. Yesterday, Deputy Brawner of K9 Deputy Flex placed first in K9 Command LLC 2023 Patrol Dog Trials. Well, that's good. What's this? 14 active warrants? Damn. How'd you get that, son? Look at little Eric's baby face there. Look at his little baby face. Oh, thank you so much, Andrea. Really do appreciate you, my love. Exactly. Little Eric. Isn't he cute? Eric's handsome. I can't help it. He really is. Do you guys realize no, Brandy, no. We can't say that. But he is he was in the Navy too? I did not know that he was in the Navy too. I did not know that. And then so that's really all that. Okay. It also says Detective Brandon Carter of the Sumner County Sheriff in Hendersonville, Tennessee, has been involved in several notable cases. While specific details about solved cases are limited, you think? He has been recognized for his contribution to his department. For instance, he has acknowledged for his role in the investigation of Sebastian Rogers' case, a missing persons case that has garnered significant attention. Additionally, he has been involved in other investigations within the county. That's not going to cut it. Okay, hold on. Maybe this one's got it on you. Senate Joint Resolution, Tennessee. This might have Brandon Carter's name in it. Hold on, I'm going to check and see if this has got Brandon's name in it. Carter. All right. Let's see what this document says. Firefighter Brandon Carter. Hold on. Was he a firefighter before this? If he was a firefighter, I'm gonna have a conniption fit. It could be a different Brandon Carter. I'm just gonna say if he was a firefighter before this, I'm gonna have a conniption fit. Firefighter Sean Milan, firefighter Brandon Carter, firefighter Jeremy Atkins. That's one. Donald Carter. Christy Carter. There's only one Brandon Carter. Brandon Carter. All right. Whereas the Hendersonville Fire Department, Gary Parker, Clyde Chambers, blah, 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 blah. Those from Westmoreland Volunteer Fire Department who assisted Chief Mark Jenkins, Assistant Chief Tim Shelton, Captain Kevin Bandy, blah, 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 Brandon Carter. What kind of document is this? State Joint Resolution. A resolution to honor and commend all of those who responded to the needs of Macon, Sumner, and Trousdale counties after the tornado of February 5th, 2008 for their heroic service to the state of Tennessee. He was a damn firefighter, y'all. I was wondering what construction second generation. Where are we hearing about construction? Here, I'll show it to you. It doesn't say volunteer, but the Hendersonville Fire Department. Firefighter Brandon Carter. This was from 2008. I mean, that was a long time ago. Conniption fit, please, Justin. When they had the leaks, didn't they say it was a firefighter? Who had leaks? I don't understand what you mean. Who had leaks? I don't think it's been I don't think it's been failed on purpose or anything, but I do think it was 17 years ago. I mean, he's young. He's young. I was thinking that he was. Oh, look at this picture. News Channel 2, Chief Deputy Craddock and Sergeant Vines spent time with Nick L. Smith at WKRN News 2. They discussed our SRO division, recent national developments on National Association of School Resource Officers of Model Agency, whatever the fuck that means. The construction company of the same Carter. So, I don't think that has anything to do with it personally. Justin, if Canada had the 3M video, people would be arrested. there are people that do not believe that light video has anything to do with Sebastian's disappearance. They will say, that it's at a different location, the lights are in a different spot, all of that. I say, huck to it. Spit on that thing, is what I say about that. Well, the lights video should be made public, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I agree. If it's nothing, bring it all out, sister. Yeah, you're right. Marissa, yeah. Ex FBI worker comes out a year later saying that. Criminal. Sam. Justin, you should reach out to KK's criminal lawyer for comment. Hi, my name is Pearls. I would like to get a comment on KK. Please hold.
Girl, how I look? Like a damn fool. No, them veneers don't make that look no better. Girl, bye.
Girl, bye. How you doing, sis? We need to start writing into the FBI that going through Sumner County. Yeah. That's why Chris and Katie have walked around laughing this entire time. They knew nothing was ever going to be done, and they have nothing to worry about. I don't think anybody's out of the woods, so to speak, yet. I think they're looking at KK probably more than they are Edgar, to be quite honest with you. But I think if, in my opinion, which is not a fact, I think, is Tennessee a nobody, no crime state? Not necessarily, but that's just kind of the way that works. Prosecutors doesn't like to go to the jury without a body. That's true, soldier. No one in my area even knows about Sebastian. Where are you at, Pamela? I don't know. I think that before this is over, if they don't come out and talk soon, I think there's probably going to be a mass protest in Sumner County because people are getting frustrated. And when people get frustrated and feel like nothing is being done, even if there is something being done behind the scenes, but if they feel, if the public perception is they don't see anything being done, then that leads to frustration. And so either they're going to have to speak a little more, or I just have a feeling that there's going to be big ass protest for Sebastian, or the people feel ignored. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you guys know, like, I have always, and am still supportive of the law enforcement. But something's got to give. Yes, it is butterflies. Sheriffs are elected. here. Now, Craddock was not elected. He was deputy sheriff, and the sheriff unexpectedly died by a very tragic accident himself. He was at a conference and fell and hit his head and died. Which, look at that right there, guys. That just shows you, right, how fragile life is, especially for young and older people. So, you know what? I'm going to turn on Jules because everyone has told me about that. I haven't seen Jules in a what is it? Allegedly in my opinion. In my opinion. Jules. How do you is it what's her channel's name? Because everyone's talking about that. Allegedly innocent. That's what it is. Allegedly innocent. All right. People have been speaking about this. And is it called The Trouble with Edgar Peafoot and Sebastian? How are CP, Nina Glass, and Crabtree the same? I love Jules. She is such a good one. Just an all-around good person, which is a very rare ass thing on here. Here I'm going to drop full credit. Allegedly innocent. Give me 2 seconds. Not allergy, allegedly. Ecole. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Craddock was... Oh, guys, it was just an accident. It was just an accident. It sure was. Make sure you subscribe to Allegedly Innocent. You will love her. I guarantee it.
Generated.
Hold on, here we go.
Number 33 comments and 33 people here. Meow.
Hold on
Good
1 second.
And don't forget the true meaning of holiday. Show, is that a good name? If you like that name, let's put a 1. Like a plan. Like we've done point A, we've done point B, we've done point C.
Is this
and
the
now
one?
We're on point D, where we turn the lights off, we make the house dark, and we go to bed waiting for what? Oh, yeah. 3 a.m., correct?
Yep. Right.
So if my husband can hear it and he's not into these stories and doesn't really know much about the case.
Listen, there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that will ever convince me that damn car that goes up Kellen, turns around, goes on Stafford right there in front of that house, get out of the damn car, goes to the house, 2 people come back with flashlights, has nothing to do with Sebastian. Do you guys think in the last 15 months that has ever happened since anything like that? Do you think anyone in the last 15 months since Sebastian has been missing at any time through the night has pulled up to a house, ran through multiple yards, and a child go missing? And the one flashlight goes back to the house. There is not a fucking thing that will ever commit. There's just not. And you said it. I think so, Casey. I think so. And I think, well, I mean, I've shown you there's the outlines. You can see them moving.
Then I do think that the way that sounds to me, that it sounds very directive and it sounds very purposeful, like there is an organized plan in action, and that's the next step. Do you remember when she is talking about the morning when she's driving looking for Sebastian? She messes up. There's a moment where
Now, I want to say that I got to give credit because it wasn't just Edgar who said it was a trash truck. Now, Seth did say it was a trash truck as well. And he said that for a reason, in my opinion, but I'm just telling you, he said it for a reason. And he never thought it was a trash truck. I mean, anybody with a freaking brain knows it's not a trash truck. I mean, a damn dehydrated shrimp from a ramen noodle packet knows it's not a damn trash truck.
she messes up, and she said, and Chris, she says, and he was already, and she immediately stopped herself.
he's
if you
already.
remember that, put a 1. If you know what I'm talking about. If you don't,
Oh, I do, Jules, honey.
I'll go back tomorrow and pull that, and we'll play it to remind everybody. But lots of people talked about it at the time when it happened, so I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So he says, you've got to get back to the house. Cops are on the way. And she says, he is already, and I'm like, he's already what, Katie? Why are you running back to the house? But then you censor yourself. You say running, and then you stop and say drove.
Yeah. Like, we know what you mean when you mean running back to the house, but you corrected yourself, which in my opinion makes it look worse because you're suspicious about saying running. You're suspicious about that, right? Why are you so suspicious about saying ran back to the house? I say I'm running to the store. Do you think I'm really running? No, I'm not really running to the store. I don't even run for a sale, let alone anything else. But you get what I mean. But when I correct it, when there is obviously someone running back home the night your son goes missing, well, that's a problem. Like when she said he would have been 16. Bingo. Bingo. Absolutely. Yes, he would have been 16. And then she corrects herself. And it just makes them look worse. The only time I run is when I run the dishwasher. Oh, Sam. You know it, girl. And do.
But we can clearly see on the security camera that 2 flashlights go to the car, one flashlight goes back to your house. So he said, go back to the house, turn the lights off, get in bed. Is that right? Like, is that when it happened? He's already got Sebastian. He's already on his way where, Katie? So this was a very strange, leakage. That's exactly what it was, Ginger. 100%. Yes.
Yes. KK was leaking like a sieve. She was leaking like a sieve. Like a mother chicken sieve.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yes, ma'am.
And when we talk about leakage, deception detective is not, he's not naming it leakage related to identifying liars. That's actually a term that we have in cognitive psychology.
Bingo, yes.
It's a
We
variable
do that.
that we use to do certain types of research, where people can't help themselves. They know the truth.
Oh, hell no. Look at Troopers. I'm not reading that out loud, but that's kind of funny.
Better late than
Blanche. Pregnant.
Better late than pregnant. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. You hear that, Edgar?
Truth. And even when they are a sophisticated liar, the brain the brain doesn't like cognitive dissonance.
Yes, as long as the musty hutch ain't leaking, she ain't tweaking. Okay.
Brain gets very uncomfortable. Physically, you get uncomfortable when you're lying. And so it's like the brain is pushing, trying to write the dissonance, trying to make you more accurate. Here's another example. Remember Barry Morphew? Oh, Suzanne, whoever's got you, just tell them we want you home. You have to come home. And the whole time, what's he doing? Shaking his head yes or shaking his head no?
No.
Again, that's a form of leakage. That is the cognitive dissonance making the physical body uncomfortable. And the brain is driving for equilibrium, because that's what the brain does. The brain is
what happened? Okay, sorry. Would they arrest her if she admitted she knew something happened but blamed someone else for covering it up, but couldn't give L.E. a place where he is? Yes, they would arrest her, because that means she has been withholding knowledge, right? And that would be, what would that would be under? That would be interfering with investigation.
pushing for equilibrium, trying to layer some congruency. And so shaking your head no, like what I'm saying is a lie, that helps the person feel more relaxed. They're more congruent.
Really, girl mom. I rewatched Megan Boswell's case, and that's what happened. And they didn't arrest Megan Boswell at first. Well, it is Tennessee obstruction. Yeah, there we go. Why would KP say that the niece has been through enough? Don't go there. Right. And that's a really good point. I feel like, listen, there's more people, in my opinion, who knows about what happened that day, right? There's more people that know what happened that day. There was too many hanging around, shopping, calling each other, all in that day. Listen, if Edgar had a not a life alert, what the hell? What's the things that follow you? I can't think of the name right now. the 360, Life 360. And he was somewhere in Memphis or Mississippi. He would show it. He would show it.
Here is more proof.
Exactly.
Or like Katie saying, you know, he's already, her brain, her body is pushing for congruency. And so it's trying to get something out that makes it align with what she knows to be true. So starting from February the 25th, when, fun fact, Katie cooked and she told him to go to bed, and he does. From that all the way to today, and I mean, this has been more than a month in the making, y'all.
No, allegedly KK lawyered up at the very end of September or the 1st of October of 2024. That is when she allegedly lawyered up. So why? Still waiting on that answer.
Every bit of my free time has been doing this, reviewing these old videos, writing out the timelines. I mean, it's been time work intensive. The data has shown.
Yes, I have. Funny face Brenda, good to see you, by the way. She doesn't really have a lot to do with her dad. Like, I mean, she talks to him and all that, I guess, a little bit, but I really don't think any of KK's family is involved whatsoever. And I would just about bet anything on that. I don't think KK's family has absolutely anything to do with it. I don't think there was enough time at all. Now, you got to remember, neighbors said the last time that they saw Edgar at the house, there was allegedly some sort of argument or spat, if you want to say spat, that's fine, that took place, and Edgar was allegedly getting in his truck, and that's when one of the neighbors and another person was outside, and they heard say, "It's him or me." I think they had been trying to get rid of Sebastian for quite some time. They wanted, I think it was too much for KK to be in the middle of Edgar and Sebastian all the time fighting, and she felt like perhaps, I also think she just wanted to be free, of responsibility. I don't think it mattered what school he needed to get in or where, as long as he was somewhere.
There's 3 points in this progression from February the 25th to even today. 3 points, 3 periods of time with notable changes in Christopher and Katie Proudfoot's behavior, their presentation, their mental status, the way they're presenting on podcasts and such, but also how Christopher and Katie Proudfoot, how their behavior is intersecting with people like Crabtree, Cluminati and Cletus, Queen Bee, J is for Justice,
Now,
Duchess.
also, I think Edgar, if he like sees Crabfoot at work or something, Edgar allegedly stops and visits him.
Smiley Story World. I took them, their behavior, their mental status, their emotional presentation through all of these interviews and present in media experiences, and I cross-referenced it to these podcasts, these places where they made appearances. And my goodness, Christopher Proudfoot, I think that you've been a very busy little bee at points in time, haven't you? And Tony Mathis
He sure has.
is in one of these intersections. And it doesn't mean that Tony Mathis did anything wrong. It means that Tony Mathis shows up on the scene. He makes an appearance at the same time that Christopher Proudfoot is changing his tactic. Isn't that interesting?
I don't understand what she's saying there.
Like when
though.
I get into this, y'all are going to be surprised. All right. So, so that is one of the 3 times that is very interesting. Is Tony Mathis as a variable?
I guess
having a statistically
I mean, you got to think from 6:03 to about 6:40. There is nothing done within that hour except 3 minutes before 6:03, from 6 to 6:03, she says she's looking for Sebastian and he's not in the house. And she looks outside, and then she calls Edgar and he says, I can't find him. And he's like, what do you mean you can't find him? Did you check here? Did you check here? And she's like, yes. And then what the hell do they talk about for the majority of that hour? From 6:43 to 7 o'clock, that's really the only time after the 911 call, or the non-911 call, that something's really going on. We have no idea for the majority of that hour what was taking place. No, Tony wasn't put in for Chris. I promise you.
his entrance being statistically significantly correlated to Christopher Proudfoot's change in behavior that prompts a great deal of drama on YouTube. It's like it was coordinated. It's like the addition of Tony Mathis, Crabtree. It's like it was arranged behind the scenes. And it has no correlation whatsoever to the Seth variable. None. Like nowhere is any of these notable behavior pattern shifts with this big group of people too. You've got to remember that. Seth is never correlated in these 3 critical moments, right? But Tony absolutely is.
Yep.
And I was in complete and total shock when the data aligned Crabtree, right? Who thought Crabtree did?
I'm not understanding what she's saying.
Did you just think that Crabtree was just sort of this bumbling fool that I don't mean fool and
Yes, I do think he is just pretty much a bumbling. I think he's, has a hard time taking care of himself. I think they connected, and Crabtree, that's when he went and said, he went and met with the officers, and they said this and this and that. And, and then that relationship split up between Tony and the Crabs.
in a negative way. I mean, he's just a guy who's, got a lot of energy, got a lot of time on his hands. And he just decided, hey, I know, I'll get involved in this search, right? That's what I thought. It's what I thought all along. But that's really not what happened. Mr. Crabtree entered the story at exactly the same time that Tony Mathis did. Apparently, Tony Mathis said,
Is that true, though? I mean, wasn't he already on TikTok?
Crabtree's my boy. And Nina, remember Nina? I don't mean Nina, Chris Proudfoot's ex-wife. I mean Nina from Houston.
Girl mom's got it. Girl mom's got it. Girl mom. You got it. Tell her what she wins, Johnny. I take it as Edgarstein is wanting to know what Seth knows, so he is trying to talk to anyone affiliated with Seth. Yes. And we got that call. Remember? Edgar saying, well, just tell us what Seth has told you, and I'll go from there. No, Mother Chicken. Seth is a different person, and he went missing from your house. Tell us what you know, Mother Chicken.
Or not from Houston, but Corpus Christi, right? And remember all the brouhaha where Nina had to have money to get her truck fixed before she could come up to
yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I wasn't friendly at all with Tony then, and I didn't like that. I think Tony, I don't want to talk bad about a dead person. I didn't like that at all. At all. But I think
Tennessee to help with the search and all that. Remember all that? Well, it turns out that the original 3 was Tony Mathis, this chick, Nina, who just grifted, took the money, stayed in Corpus Christi because she's on probation and she couldn't leave the state.
Yeah, I mean, I did a court thing about Nina then. I'm not going to talk negative about her because she's deceased, and I don't talk negative about anyone's deceased at all. But I'm still not exactly following what I think I get it, but I just want to know how she's seeing this.
And Crabtree. And when I saw that,
right,
I just threw my hands up in the air and I said, how? Like, why? Because Crabtree lives up there and he's so close to Cletus and Cluminati that he goes running over to Cletus and Cluminati's house when he screws up his drug test, and he has both of the pee cups in the camera that you can see that he poured water into one of the pee cups.
Oh, that was embarrassing. That was so embarrassing for that guy. Oh my God. Like, it was, I mean, he literally pours water and you can see him just flip out the thing, and then he's like, by God, I'm getting in my truck and I'm going to Walgreens again, mother chicken. And I will show you that the Coca-Cola is not in my urines.
Ups, and he made such a terrible mess of the whole thing. And he goes running off to Clue and Cluminati and Cletus's house, where Cletus then, much like a big brother, he goes and tries to like hold Crabfoot's hand and say, "Well, here, brother."
And that's what I think it is between Cletus and Clue and Crabtree. I think they're trying to be. I think they feel sorry for him, to be honest with you, and I think they just try to keep him on a straight and narrow because he's so lost. Kid is so lost. And you know, he's just out there. He's just out there. And it wasn't fooling anybody.
Brother, here's how you do your drug test so all the world will trust you again and believe in you. And my brain, speaking of cognitive dissonance, my brain said, okay, I'm on tilt here. What the hell? Why in God's name is Tony Mathis bringing Crabtree into the Seth team? Crazy, right?
I don't think it's about bringing anybody into the Seth team, if you will. I mean, I think how it works is generally in these cases, you, I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, the way I've experienced these things is, you know, you kind of share the same opinions as someone else. You start talking to them and you grow trust, and you know that turns into a friendship of some sort, you know, or an alliance, if you will, on the same, you know, because people are generally around the same like-minded people. And when you're like-minded, you you know, that's usually your people. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what she says.
Absolutely unbelievable. Now then, hold on a minute. I have too many video. No, that's not the one I want. Here's the one I want. Okay, so let me share this with you for a moment, please.
And that's true, Rita. He has been on both sides, if you will. He has been. That is absolutely true. I think he just wants to be anywhere that'll accept him. Someone said they got clips though, so let's see them.
It's so weird, y'all. This case is bonkers. Like, it is not, you just wouldn't believe it. Okay, I'm not gonna get bogged down in that again. Okay, so let's listen to this. This is an appearance on May the 26th, 2024. I mean, we're at the anniversary for the shit show. We're at the anniversary. Chris went on the where did I put that? Christopher Proudfoot goes on Queen Bee May the 23rd of 2024, and I'm going to show you some.
I don't think Crabtree is a bad person. I really don't. I don't think most people are bad, actually. I think everyone has their moments. And I think, you know, people have different states of mental capacity at different times.
some of that. But on May the 26th of
I think it makes some
2024,
poor decisions.
we've got Crabtree showing up, and Christopher Proudfoot is on Queen Bee that night. And Tony Mathis makes his appearance, a dual appearance with Seth for the first time, May the 12th. Like 10 days before CP is up on Queen Bee's creating a shit show. And Crabtree's going to join in with the shit show. There is some reason to believe, although I just have failed so far to get a really good date.
Yeah, and I think, you know, when you are suffering from any sort of chemical dependency, you're not yourself anyways. And there's, you know, people struggle. Everyone struggles with something. Everyone struggles with something. Everyone has something, right? And it's just that.
Pinned down for when Tony Mathis makes a new Facebook account that would identify him as Seth's official spokesperson. But it was sometime the first week of May 2024. On May the 11th, this is a good date, May the 11th, 2024, Tony Mathis says, you know, I'm not cooperating with Proudfoot anymore. Because Proudfoot's throwing shade and he's acting like Proudfoot. So May 11th was officially, there would be, you see.
Yeah, because I think him and, Tony and Crabfoot got in, you know, they had it out at one point or another.
The PI that Seth had been working with, she worked really, really, really hard and had been very.
Cassandra, where have you been? Where have you been, young lady? Do I need to issue you some late slips, or do I need to put a warrant out looking for you, ma'am? I have not seen you in a month of Sundays.
Very successful getting with the local law enforcement, as well as trying to.
And you're exactly right, that as well, Kelsey. Hard times does not give anyone permission to be hurtful. Struggle isn't a shield for accountability. I'm so over the bullshit. That is absolutely true. That's absolutely true. You still have to be accountable, and you still have to be an adult. All of that. And it's not, it shouldn't be, maybe this is the wrong word, is a crutch, if you will.
Open up a line of communication between the Proud Feet and Seth. And it did seem like that was beginning to.
Thank you so much, Be in Florida. Justin, was the Amber Alert changed to Sunday 225? If so, KP was awake until midnight, and in my opinion, KP failed to report him missing for at least 6.5 hours. It says the last time that he was seen 225. They did change it. The TBI did change it. Sumner County changed it. So it was last time was seen is 225. It was 226. That was an typo error. People think they don't make typo errors. They certainly do, because they did, and they ended up changing it. Because when it was 226, people were saying, oh my God, see, he was seen after midnight. Whenever law enforcement clearly made it extraordinarily clear that Sebastian has not been seen or heard from since he allegedly went to bed. And technically, he has not been seen by the public since he don't pull out my mic, Pearl, please. Since he went, hey Marlene, good to see you, baby. Since he was at the Texas Roadhouse, that's the last time he was technically seen by anyone outside of, as in a public view where others can see him.
Fall in place. It seemed like the cops were communicating more with Seth, and Katie might have been a bit open to communicating, but then Tony enters.
I don't know about that. KK has not spoken with Seth since the really the first few days. I mean, I think he met him a couple times in the beginning, but I believe, in my opinion, that's why KK or Edgar threw the fit, because he had to go back to Memphis, he says, and he did not want KK and Seth there to speak. He knew Seth would get mad and leave.
The first week in May, he comes on the scene at the behest of the Pascal show. I don't believe, not for a minute, that Pascal is up to no good. No, I don't.
Well, I can just say that Pascal was covering, I can't think, I'm sorry guys, I can't think of the gentleman's name. In Texas, we covered him. My limes, yes, Jules supports Seth, absolutely. I love Jules, but just because I love her doesn't mean I agree with everything. Riley Strain, he was covering Riley Strain, and he was covering Sebastian. And Seth was lost, just absolutely lost during those times. And he knew that Tony was on Riley's case, and he kind of asked, hey, can you help out Seth a little bit? And that's how it worked. That is just how. Caleb Harris, thank you. Caleb Harris, not Riley Strain. Riley Strain was in Tennessee too. Caleb Harris. So sorry, I correct that. Tony was on Caleb Harris's case because he had worked together with some family members. And Pascal said, hey, can you talk to Seth? And Tony started speaking to Seth, and they realized that, they both are originally from Kansas. I think it's Kansas. And they grew up like 15 minutes away from each other.
I don't believe that. No way, no how. The decisions he's made with this case demonstrate he wants to avoid drama at all costs. I have to wonder, though, if when Tony Mathis went on the Pascal show to talk about Caleb Harris, if he wasn't intentionally trying to talk more about Sebastian and Seth, and if that was what sort of prompted Pascal to say, oh, I need to get you in touch with this dude, Tony Mathis, and he could be a big help to you, Seth, because you're really tired and worn out. You've been doing all of these appearances. I mean, you wouldn't believe how often Seth.
I mean, that's an interesting theory, but I don't think it happened like that, in my opinion.
Was doing media appearances, podcast interviews. You wouldn't believe it. On let's see. March, he did 2 interviews on March the 20th, 21st, 25th, March the 28th, March.
In fact, I know when they first talked, I think Tony wasn't even interested in helping on the Sebastian case. And then I think Seth called him back and said, please, I need help.
The 29th, March the 29th, March the 31st, April the 2nd, 2 on April the 3rd, April the 4th. There were 2 on April the 4th, Vinnie Politan as well as Smiley's. Nancy Grace was on April the 4th. That's when they found the Sebastian's glasses. April the 5th. I mean, the man was nearly every day he was doing an interview, and sometimes 2 or 3 a day before Tony came on the scene.
I just realized Edgar looks
when
like
Tony
an Oompa Loompa.
came,
He looks like an Oompa Loompa. He looks like a blueberry. Hold on, who said that? No, Tony knew CP long before Sebastian missing case. That is 100% incorrect. Sorry. Nope. That is a absolute 0. You're going to have to give me a receipt on that one.
came on the scene, it all slowed down. So April the 5th was, and don't forget too, while all of these interviews were happening for Seth, March and April, on April the 5th, he complains on the Pascal show about all these, that their searchers are being literally followed, that people that come to search are getting death threats, that searchers are saying, no, I don't want to be a part of this. I can't have this in my life. I'm having my businesses threatened. Can't do this. People were abandoning the search, abandoning Seth because of these people that were threatening. And
no, Judy, just by saying something happened or is true doesn't mean anything. I'll wait for you. You can text it to my number. Guys, drop my number so Judy can text me this alleged proof, because
Seth was telling law enforcement.
it's not the
Seth
truth.
gave to law enforcement
See, this is the thing. We've got to speak the truth if we want Sebastian home. There's so many bullshit conspiracies out there which has absolutely crushed this case in so many ways.
the license plate numbers of people following them, phone numbers of people calling and threatening people's businesses. And law enforcement never contacted the people that were being threatened, which essentially one could assume that they're not investigating it. It's very strange, right? So let's see. He does May the first week in May. It seems that Tony is either a spokesperson or he's advocating to become the spokesperson. May the 11th, he publicly says no more cooperation with the Proud Feet, which is something that the PI had worked so hard to establish. It was really bad that happened. And then on May the 12th, Tony and Seth have their first joint appearance on a podcast. And then only 11 days later, you've got Christopher Proudfoot and Crabtree jumping up on Queen Bees, and the shit show begins. I'm looking to see if I left anything out. When I say the
I'm not
shit show
talking about
begins,
Jules
here's what I
Cameron.
mean.
I'm not talking about Jules.
On May the 23rd, starting on May the 23rd, which intersects with Christopher Proudfoot showing up on Queen Bees.
Judy, they don't even sell the exact same, and people thinks Tony just sells cranes for a living. He sells all different types of equipment because I sell a crane and Bob 300 or 600 or 1,000 miles sells a crane doesn't mean anything. Either put up the receipts, let's go, send them to my phone, or you're just wishing it to be true. It's absolute ridiculous because I 1,000,000,000% promise you don't have a legitimate receipt. Guys, here is shit. I don't know if it'll let me. Hold on, let me do it like this. Here is a petition that is going around. If you are interested in it, to sign it, please do. It's on change.org. It's about Sebastian. It's about the FBI taking. The first link work. Did that link work, guys? You signed it earlier. Okay. Thank you.
The messaging has a distinct flavor change. And it is that things begin to happen, things are said that are.
Judy, if you don't send me a receipt right now, you're going to be blocked because you're just spreading rumors at this point, which is complete bullshit. Show me what you're talking about. Let's go, andale, or save it.
Seem to be contrived, seem to be designed to undermine Seth's credibility.
What do you mean as soon as you get them? What do you mean as soon as you get them, Judy? You are saying something as a fact. I know everything about him.
And why is Crabtree involved in this period of time when he's a nobody? He is a nobody that Tony Mathis is bringing on board, along with this chick Nina, who made everybody angry. That it hurt. The problem of Nina, it hurt so badly because people felt used. The people that were supporting Seth, they felt used, and they felt like that the money that they were donating was being squandered to pay off Tony Mathis's friends.
Hold on, I got to go back here. I don't what?
Nina, who made bringing all
I got to go back here.
Involved in this period of time when he's a nobody. He is a nobody that Tony Mathis is bringing on board, along with this chick Nina, who made everybody angry. That it hurt. The problem of Nina, it hurt so badly because people felt used. The people that were supporting Seth, they felt used, and they felt like that the money that they were donating was being squandered to pay off Tony Mathis's friends.
No, no. In fact, the fundraiser, like the fundraiser thing that Seth got, his sister is the one that controlled the whole thing. So that Seth couldn't even access it. In fact, it wasn't even in Seth's name. His sister had it done. Trevor Lee found Nina. No, different Nina, Laura. Different Nina. This is Nina Glass. She's died now.
And people don't want to donate.
Okay, hold on. Elise is saying, Justin, she's not saying that money was what the money was used for. She's saying there was a coordinated effort to make it look like what? To hurt Seth's credibility. Is she okay? Is she saying? I have listened to it from start to finish. Well, I've started listening from the start. But is she saying that the fundraiser was to hurt? Is she saying that Tony was trying to hurt Seth's credibility? Is that what I'm getting? She's talking about funds raised for that Nina girl truck. You put it in different books. Okay. Well, all right, Judy. We're gonna just time you out for 24 hours until you can get that, or you can email it, and then if it's legit, then I'll be the first to agree with you. But until then, no.
You think that your money is not being used for the intended purpose, right? So
God, Mag.
I don't think that we can discount the role, the influence that Tony Mathis coming on board with Nina and the story of her broken.
Now listen, I think that I didn't agree with listen, if you are a dog handler and you need to get to, you're a professional and you need to get from point A to point B, then you need to do that by yourself. I don't think it was a good look. I think I never did support that personally. But I also think sometimes you're desperate in the moment and you believed in someone and you wanted to get her there to do whatever. But I don't think it was to hurt anything. I think the perception did, but
Truck and needing money, but she couldn't leave Texas anyway, for legal reasons. But she kept the money. That
I don't know if she get money. I don't know. I really don't know about that. You're misunderstanding, Jules. She's not talking about the GoFundMe for Seth. Justin, she was brought in by Crabtree to Tony. Oh, so so Crabtree brought Nina in to Tony. raised money on TikTok or something. I mean, this is just a lot of loops. I don't.
That was the first really big act that would cause people to side eye Seth, to stand back and go, wait a minute, what happened? What's this about? But I was blown away.
Yeah, let me
with-
make that clear. Nina Glass passed. She was a dog handler, not Nina Edgar's ex-wife, Nina. She's thankfully alive and well. I already did, Lorraine.
The addition of Crabtree, to find out that Tony Mathis brought Crabtree on board, even though Crabtree is from that area. So let's take a listen to this. Let me make sure that
She brought him on board.
y'all can see it. Nope, you can't. Add to the stage. All right, now you can see it.
But wasn't, and I don't know anything about the barbecue lady or anything, but wasn't Tony and barbecue and Crabfoot and all of them friendly at that point? I'm kind of skeptical about a bunch of this stuff.
All right, so let's take a listen.
Because I believe he stepped back completely. He doesn't want any part to do. He doesn't want anything to do with this case.
Oh, by the way, Quinn, I'm going to skedaddle. I got to go to bed. You guys have a good one.
We'll see you later, Kim.
Bye.
Good night.
Oh, yeah. I remember Charlie. Now, Charlie scammed people, didn't he? It was Charlie that took money about a boat or a truck or something. These people are fucking terrible. But he did take money and run with it.
This is an understatement right now. It's come to my attention in the past couple of days, the things that I've received, heard, gotten, seen with my own eyes, watching many things. I've been bastardized, thrown on the ground. All this shit, man, I can handle myself.
Cassie says, yes, Nina got money from Crabtree that raised on TikTok, got dollars, not Seth's donation. Yeah, it had nothing to do with Seth's donation, but many on YouTube do not watch TikTok, so a lot of things were made to look a different way. Boom. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
For something I put myself in. But what I did not put myself in was to be tied to specific people. I don't have a tie to Tony. I'm not Team Tony. I am not Team Seth. I am not Team Chris or Katie. I am Team Sebastian, that alone. And if I have to forever go out here and fly drones and do it on my damn own, I'm very much will. If I feel like it's benefiting trying to bring the kid home.
Now, Crabtree was doing like drone work and everything to get money to help buy kids band instruments. Noble, right? Good guy. When Sebastian went missing, though, he kind of took an interest. But listen to how this changes. And then on May the 22nd, Queen Bee is reviewing the Stephen Crabtree's video from the day before. Listen to how he describes, I'm going to be on my own. I don't want to be tied to Tony Mathis or Seth. This was a huge deal, y'all. That up until this day, this moment, where Tony Mathis enters the picture at the same time that Nina.
You know what? I had a bunch of those TikToks and I swear my hand to God, yesterday I deleted them, which they're probably, I don't think Google deletes them until like 30 or 60 days, so I can probably get them.
Enters the picture at the same time that now Crabtree becomes very vocal and does something connected to Tony. Up to this 522, he and Tony were aligned. This that he does is a huge blow to Seth's credibility. It's one of the first moments where Seth's credibility is really undermined by association. So you've got Nina, who takes the GoFundMe money that was given by the Green Team Sebastian group. She takes it to fix her truck and then never goes to Tennessee to help. At the same time, Crabtree does this, and Queen Bee plays it on her channel.
See, I've sat here many times, made videos, communicated with you guys, been on lives and part of lives.
What's not true, Mohawk?
And what I've learned is I belong here on my live, on my videos. Because apparently, as I moved across, things got very misconstrued. Things would be put in my mouth that shouldn't have been.
What? No, bueno. No bueno. You said a lot, sir. He said a lot. He said a lot. You said you went down there and they talked to you and they took you back in a room.
In there. And I'm very irritated about it.
It's probably interrogating you about something else.
Like one being a fucking text message that had nothing to do with
me. Allegedly. Who knows?
And then to hear the shit that's being added on to that. I am not no fall guy. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know if that was the case. I have no idea. But I'm going to tell you right now, I am pissed. Because all I wanted to do was be an asset to bringing him home or helping Logan.
Was this the time whenever Pearl just pulled my mic out? Was this the time whenever they started with the Seth was buying Michaela, paying her rent and stuff like that? Is this the time?
Okay, then. That's it.
Sebastian.
That means flying my drone, supporting other people who are out doing the same thing, whether it be, anybody. It doesn't matter. If you are from my same area and you said, hey, man, I'm going to walk this area, I need your support. As long as I'm not tied up with my actual job, hey, I'm there. That's what I wanted to do. I would make a crucial mistake by, reporting stuff that I had no business doing. I think I'm entitled to.
Just if people are honest, just be honest.
My opinions. But like I said, after talking to Tim Bailey, I've learned a valuable lesson. Watch those opinions because they hurt others. But people don't understand that. I'm telling you right now, I am not.
This is Stephen Crabtree. This was a part of Tony's. He was a part of Tony's team. Tony brought on Stephen and Nina. Nina Glass is the other person who has the felony charges, who cannot be around kids, that was supposed to be joining the search team. So now
I don't know if she couldn't be around kids. I remember watching her court thing. I don't think she could be around her kids at the time.
It's very odd that all these people just keep leaving Seth. Everybody that tries to go help him, they just keep leaving him.
This live that they're doing right now, where you just heard Queen Bee saying, oh, it's so odd that all of Seth's people keep leaving him, was May the 26th, 2024. Tony didn't come on until the first or second week in May. What do you mean, Queen Bee? Oh, why does everybody keep leaving Seth? Tony was only around for 2 weeks before, well, not 2 weeks, about 12 days, 11 or 12 days before Nina takes off with the donated money, the GoFundMe money that was supposed to fix her truck so she could come up and search and help Tony. And then Crabtree comes on with Tony Mathis. And 11 days later, Nina steals the money. Crabtree goes on to start.
Did Nina take money? Is that an absolute fact?
Cussing out anyone that is on Team Seth. Connected to Tony Mathis becoming the official spokesperson. And
she did, Sharon. How much did she get? And where did the money come from? I think they collected that from TikTok. She collected that from TikTok, right?
And at the same time that this all blows
that
up,
correct?
Connected Tony, that's when Christopher Proudfoot starts going on Queen Bee, Cluminati.
You are absolutely right, Cassie. Now that you say that, Justin, I think the apartment that Nina accidentally pew-pewed into the child's was a minor in the apartment. Yes, that's what it was. Yes, it was from a TikTok box fundraiser. Yes. Okay. Raised on TikTok, but tried to say it came from Seth's fund. Who said it? Who said it came from Seth's fund? Because that's a flat out no. Seth didn't even have, and still doesn't. Which I don't. There's just nothing at all to that.
Starts really doing crazy lives and crazy behavior, right? I don't want to get sidetracked by that though. Okay, so let me be quiet.
Nina Glass fulfilled her GoFundMe of.
There is so much trouble that comes from TikTok. It is crazy. It is crazy.
The dollar amount needed.
Oh, did she? So she filled her GoFundMe to get her truck in order and get down there to search?
You going to bed, Carol?
Yes, ma'am.
Night,
from my
baby.
understanding, Tony added Betty to his team too, and there's a live stream with that too, where they did a TikTok about that. So,
Oh my
yes,
God.
ma'am. I did see that.
Yes, Betty's going to be added to Tony's team.
Oh, goody. It just gets better and better every day.
Her and Seth are as soon as her car gets fixed and she's knows that it's roadworthy and she can trust it again, then she and Seth are headed to the woods to do some searching because she's been doing all of her research.
Okay, this is just nitpicking at this point, right there.
I have a question. It might be a little bit left-handed, but do anybody know who did that tip line, the private tip line for Sebastian Rogers? Who was behind that?
I think Tony.
Was that Tony? Oh, good
I think
Lord.
so.
Hold on. What was that?
Tip line, the private tip line for Sebastian Rogers. Who was behind that?
I think Tony.
Was that?
Yeah, I forgot about that damn tip line. There was a tip line at some point. I don't know who created it, if it was Tony or someone
Tony?
else.
Oh, good
I think
Lord.
so.
Okay.
Okay, so
Same show poodles.
this
Same.
actually is from this one's from 13 hours ago. Dr. Vance is the channel name, which is Traders. So this one is from 13 hours ago. This is Stephen Crabtree. I'm sorry, I had the wrong one.
Clear this up real quick. So I've been asked if I'm still going to be involved with searching for Sebastian.
I didn't hope.
And
No. Sorry to
remember
hear that,
what
no.
I think it was Trisha. Remember what she said. She asked
I know, God,
specifically
crazy.
about who organized the reward fund, the bank account, right? And somebody says, "Oh, I think that was Tony." You heard that, right? Keep that in your head, because we're not done with that. This one,
I don't know if Tony organized anything or not. I honest to God don't.
From the 23rd and the 26th, these two Queen Bee lives were a massive blow
Hey,
to
Edgar
Seth
Shrimp.
Rogers.
Good to see you.
This was the moment. This was the day that Seth went from being embraced and supported overwhelmingly.
So it wasn't Tony, it was Steven?
On social media to people
Yeah.
beginning to abandon him.
Yeah, I don't think it was Tony that did that. I'm pretty sure it was Crabfoot.
And it was every bit of it aligned with the addition of Tony Mathis and Christopher Proudfoot having a notable behavior change.
Doing the search team stuff. I absolutely am.
I mean, what does she mean by behavior change? As in how? That's. Have you asked Seth Lindley what? Oh, I talk to them both, Elisa, all the time.
Just not tied to Tony and them. If you want to be a part of it, I will do a live about this. I've been calling several other search and rescue certified teams that are in Tennessee, because I mean, why not? We're here in Tennessee. I think that what kills me is even looking at the Tony stuff and telling people we're going to get a search and rescue.
Yes, there was some sort of, I don't know if it was a GoFundMe or a fundraiser of some sort, and it was to fix her truck. And I was not in support of that because I just thought personally felt it was very unprofessional. If you want to go help search for Sebastian, that shouldn't entail people fixing your truck. It just shouldn't. Period.
You together and stuff, and this is where we're at today. Still,
don't talk about my truck, Kiki.
Nothing, right? I can tell you actively that Chloe, the old PI, is tied to a search organization that, and I don't mean to say that wrong, it may be wrong, that they are actively still searching to this day, right? And so my thing is if we can come together collectively, figure out this is what we need to do, find a team that's local to Tennessee that is certified, that absolutely can do this.
So he's saying.
You're exactly right, Cassie. Many were side-eyeing Tony back then because there were a lot of things that implied that were not true. And I was side-eyeing Tony then. I thought, no, that's, I absolutely was like, listen, Nina needs to get her own.
Tony is not to be trusted. Now, he's been working with Tony, right? He says Tony is not to be trusted. Tony keeps saying we're going to organize a search team, and here we are 2-3 weeks later, nothing is happening. And Nina stole the GoFundMe money, and that's not working. And the PIs that Seth's going to run off, they're not doing any good. But they're actually the ones that are doing. The amount of manipulation that happened during this live stream alone cannot be explained at all by anything other than to say it is organized chaos. It is a conspiracy.
You're
All
right.
the moving pieces
You're right, Georgie.
knew what the other moving pieces were doing. This was intentional chaos. It was a
Right, Mohawk, right out of his mouth, he's saying a certified search and rescue. The Crabfoot is not certified. I guess Nina was, but he wasn't.
A plan to undermine the public's confidence in Seth. It was done, in my
Same, Rita.
opinion,
Same.
because to try and slow Seth down, to stop him from doing all these interviews, to get him under control, to stop the amount of public interest and support that he was getting based on Sebastian. In fact,
You're right.
organized chaos is a term that is very well known to Special Forces, Navy SEALs. They do missions where the ultimate goal of that mission depends on the appearance of chaos.
Josh, are you going
and
live?
the chaos that they intentionally create, it provides them cover to do what the real goal is. I believe this was all part of a bigger plan. And I think that it was done by someone with military experience.
You should go live.
To maybe help, Chloe and their team. And, I don't want to be tied to any part of the organization that's going on with Tony, Seth, and everybody else. To be honest with you, I think the best thing was to remove myself from that situation because I want to help. I want to.
He doesn't know where the hell he stands. It's something different every day. Just doesn't.
Do whatever I can to help bring Sebastian home. At the end of the day, I think many of us do. But this was playing in a.
Look at the comment. As soon as he says that I don't want to be a part of that organization, Seth's organization that he's put together. Clue's comment, she hadn't put any comment. She puts a comment. Y'all heard that? Drawing people's attention. Hey, listen to Crabtree. He's telling you something, and you should listen to him because he's Seth's guy. You've got to listen.
I think Crabfoot is extremely easily influenced, and as long as someone's giving him attention, he's okay with that day.
To Stephen Crabtree, because Tony Mathis brought Stephen Crabtree on board. Tony and Seth's own team are abandoning them because they're up to no good. They're not searching. They're just talking a good game. This happened in less than 2 weeks, you guys. Before Tony Mathis, Seth was on TV.
Can you imagine walking up to that guy talking to a spirit box in the woods with a dollar bill and a little powder? My God, you would think a crazy, person. It would just be, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Podcast, media, simple interviews. I'd like to find my son. I need you guys to help me. Please help me. Every time he made an appearance, he was wearing a shirt that had Sebastian's face on the front of it. Tony Mathis enters, bringing Stephen Crabtree, and within 2 weeks, they're all up on Queen Bees with Clue and Cletus, and the messaging is Seth is not to be trusted. The organization is not to be trusted.
A different direction. And
Pearl, stop.
I'm still trying to understand that you come on platforms and we talk about getting search teams put together, and here we are 3 weeks later, still where we was. You see what I'm saying? But yes, to answer that question, I'm actively looking. I've still got all this stuff put together. This is no dig at Nina. I think Nina's a great person.
When's you going to say it, Sammy?
Personally, it makes more sense to get a lot.
And Clue leaves another message. They had them, Stephen, meaning Tony and Seth, had Stephen, and they ran all the rest of the team off.
I'll help you out on Dangerous. Go for it. Hold on here.
Local certified search team in here to do all this, to be able to push for this.
A local certified search team. Who's that sound like? Sounds like Christopher Proudfoot, doesn't it? I bet my people.
But Edgar is not a certified anything except douchebag. That's the only certified thing he is.
Girl, how I look? Like a damn fool. No, them veneers don't make that look no better. Girl, bye.
Sorry, Pearl hit that. I apologize. Pearl, stop. Girl, you're killing me. Hold on. Jesus criminy.
Christopher Proudfoot headed this up. And the way that Christopher Proudfoot in these interviews always says, don't call a tip line, don't go and talk about your information online, go straight to Sumner County Sheriff's Department.
Oh my God.
What are they, Chris? The keeper of the truth? Are they the gatekeepers? Is that really and truly all that Eric Craddock is a gatekeeper? I'm going to find out, Christopher Proudfoot.
And if you actively want to be a part of this, what I would say,
oh my
push
God.
to
Pearl.
see. We've had a lot of rain. We've had a lot of stuff come in. I mean, hell, we've got storms that's coming in this weekend. And a lot of times, a lot of things get drawn up because of that, right?
Edgar is full of control. And he has to know or wants to know what everyone's doing. And don't forget, was forced when don't take my can. Forced when PIs were supposedly working with, and don't forget, was forced out when. So he wasn't forced out. What happened? He got mad whenever Seth fired the PIs, but looking back now, I mean, the connections with the former PIs is, it's probably a good thing that he did.
Floods and whatnot, especially here where there's a lot of creeks and everything. I just wanted to take a moment to address that. Yes, I'm still actively involved with trying to put together this. I'm working on it. I'm just kind of took a step back at how putting it out there, if that makes any sense. We obviously see clearly the motive of what's going on. I think a lot of people do.
Brainwashing right there. It's the brainwashing technique, telling you what to believe. I mean, we've all seen it. We all know what's going on, haven't we? Including you in with the group of people in the know. And you're sitting there going, well, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. What am I supposed to see? But you seem to know. So everybody else knows. And maybe I think I'll keep my mouth shut and just follow you.
Hey, guys, I'm going to end it here. Pearl is out of her mind right now. And she just knocked over something. So I just have to go clean it. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll finish this tomorrow, looking back and finding out that Chloe was, yes, that's what I'm saying, Mohawk. She's grabbing the mic. No, Pearl. So she's a mess right now. I wish I could turn my camera on to show you. But the battery's dead. I'll get my battery back tomorrow. Say hi, Pearl. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Josh needs to go live. She just knocked over my little flower pot. So now I got to go sweep up a flower pot. I'm going to have to move that flower pot. Sweet Pearl. She's a mess. Guys, I'll be live. No, ma'am. I'll be live tomorrow. I may be live tomorrow in an abandoned town. So if not, I'll be putting a video out about that really soon. It's an abandoned town. I've got to drive a little ways to get there, but Pearl. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Good night, everyone. I love you. I'm going to keep it right here, so we'll finish it tomorrow. Haunted Place, I'm editing right now, my darling. So it'll be nice. It's going to be a good documentary. Mohawk, remember, it was on Smiley's, Justin, and Heather. Yes, that's the day I got so mad at Seth when that happened. So yeah. All right, Pearl. I love you all. Appreciate you tremendously. Oh, this monkey. All right, guys. Good night. God bless. Bye-bye.